friends, this is Maria. I'm sorry I haven't posted anything on my blog for the last few days. I'm just getting over a cold and pretty much trying to get back to a regular blogging routine and crafting routine, which I haven't really been able to do quite efficiently right now. But hopefully in the next few days I'll be able to get back to normal. Today's tutorial will be on creating an embossed background to look a bit like faux plastic. This technique will be using acrylic paint. I liked using Making Memories acrylic paint because it's made for scrapbooking and paper crafting, like card making. So I like using their brand. You also need cardstock. I'm using white cardstock. An embossing folder, any brand, Versamark or embossing ink, or I'm going to show you two different effects. One using white pigment ink. You'll need foam brushes and some sort of a plastic because you'll be painting over the cardstock. Embossing, clear embossing powder, and I think that's it. Okay, the first thing you'll do is place your white cardstock onto something plastic, and take your acrylic paint. I'm going to use this pink one. Add a few drops onto the cardstock. Take your foam brush and brush the paint over your cardstock. Actually, you can leave some white if you want. White showing in the background if you want, but I'll cover up the whole thing. Just add more if you need to. Okay. What you then do is let it dry, allow it to dry. Another fun thing to do is to mix colors. So with this one, I'm going to add white, or off-white, I don't know about you, but I have a lot of these paints. They're really low priced, like $1 to $2 each. So one day I went into a store and I think I bought all of their colors because it wasn't like a half off sale. It's terrible when there's a sale because I go nuts and buy everything. I'm trying to not do that anymore. Fun thing to do is maybe add some color, a different color. Just kind of dab a little bit of it, different areas, and then run streaks. Okay. And then again, allow it to dry. Okay, the next thing you'll do after your cardstock or your paint has dried, take your Cutterbug embossing folder or any kind of embossing folder and apply paint to the front part of your embossing folder. I'm using white on this one, and brush in the paint. Okay. If you have too much paint on it, try not to put too much or a thick layer. You can wipe it down. Okay, once you're done, you place your cardstock with the paint side to the front, and emboss your cardstock. Okay, here's one I did in pink. So I'm going to emboss this one now. And the one that I did in two different colors. Okay, just to let you know, when applying the paint onto the embossing folder, make sure to emboss your cardstock right away so that the paint don't dry and it won't transfer the paint onto the cardstock effectively. Also, to clean the embossing folder, just use a scrub under water and it should remove the paint easily. I did several of them. I did in different colors. This one has a metallic green with white or off-white paint. This one has a mix of colors, white, pink, and green. And this has, this one I used a pink background with white or off-white overlay. Okay, what I'm going to do next now is apply embossing ink or Versamark, and also I'm going to show you another one using white pigment ink. When using white pigment ink, when you emboss it with the clear embossing powder, it gives sort of a white mat over the embossing. And when you use Versamark, it has a really shiny effect. So you can experiment and see what you like best. With the white embossing ink, it sort of gives the embossed background a shabby chic kind of appearance to it. Okay. Apply ink throughout the cardstock. Oh, I forgot to mention you also need a heating tool to emboss the clear embossing powder. Okay, so just apply clear embossing powder. Okay, now all you do is heat emboss the embossing powder. Okay, the result of the heat embossing using Versamark or embossing ink will be a more shiny effect than compared to that one when using white pigment ink. With the white pigment ink, again, it has a more shabby, chic look to it. Okay, with one of them, what I did, I ran it through a flower dye and created these pretty textured flowers. Okay, here's two cards that I made using the technique that I just did. With this one, I created a flower using a dye, and then I layered it. And with this one, I decided to keep it simple because I wanted to highlight more of the embossing. So all I did was add a sentiment, a ribbon, and sort of layered it onto designer paper. And that's it. Anyway, try out the tutorial and tell me what you think, and see you next time. Alrighty, bye-bye.